Welcome back, my lovely gamers. Tonight, well, we have another shoe head video. It seems like you guys liked it. So, why don't we go back? We go back a little bit in time and go look at her older videos when it comes to this type of subject. Tonight, we are going to subject ourselves into watching about the male loneliness epidemic. Is it an epidemic? Is it happening a lot? I don't know. Let's see what we have to say over here on this one. I don't know, guys. This might be a complicated one. All right. Strap in. Let me just wait.
I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks. The men are not okay.
Seems like a lot of
the
people
men
are not
have
okay,
no
like-
friends, no girlfriend, no
Damn.
college education, no
I'm a
money,
dropout?
are breaking their legs and inserting
Broke?
metal rods
Okay.
into their
Alright, I've seen this on even TikTok. Do y'all think that this is actually worth it? Do you know the amount of pain that you can be in? A bone healing can be extremely painful. Like straight up, Kings, don't do that. Be proud of yourselves, okay? Just be proud of your height. I'm telling y'all, I'm 5'7". And do you think that if somebody tells me that I'm not dateable because I'm 5'7", that I'm gonna date them or be like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm just gonna grow some inches? No, I know. It's this. I think that whoever's doing this, no joke, might have a little bit of body dysmorphia. So that is one thing, but still, Kings, Kings, please don't do this, please.
bones to be a few
From
inches
5'5"
taller.
to 6 inches. Shit is wild.
And listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the
We all deserve real love, Batman. We all do, but what the fuck, guys? If you ever need Batman to tell you to stop your porn addiction, I can just tell you myself. Come to my chat, and I'll just help you with that as well. Do not worry. We can talk about it, girly. Please.
society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed
It
let
is.
them down. Now you might be thinking,
It is,
oh,
but it
look,
is something really complicated that has come to the. It is for powerful men now. That's not only for all the average Joe. It is for powerful men now. But it was built upon power and men. So yeah, they didn't have the fault of this happening. But at the same time, they have a lot of privilege and that has to be acknowledged. So yeah, the system sucks for all people, but we do gotta acknowledge for who it was and who created it. So yeah.
another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe on Head.
Well, man,
Yes.
yeah.
And if you have a problem with
I
that,
don't
tune
care.
into
Come on.
literally anything else.
There's a lot of places where men are supposed to be miserable.
Men are in a crisis, and it seems nobody really cares. And the people who do care just seem like the people who want to sell them shit. Not me.
Okay, so people selling them stuff, it's just a hoax on trying to take what men are actually missing from themselves. That is most likely. There's a lot of things that can be missing, but purpose is something really huge. And so people like Andrew Tate and all of them, they will talk to you about to getting purpose in the quote unquote old fashioned way. However, that doesn't work anymore. We do not live in a world but things are as it used to be. So things are changing and you should change with them. So please understand that, okay? You don't need to be sold anything. If you know what, if you are going to be sold anything, I'm going to sell you therapy, because guess what, baby? It's not for crazy people. It's for everybody. I'm telling y'all, it's for everybody. So
I'm different.
please.
So before we get into this, let's quickly get into today's sponsor.
All right, let's get the hustle right
Today's
now.
sponsor is Holzkern.
I love your
Holzkern
glasses.
is
Oh
a
my
young
God.
Austrian company that designs unique crafted watches and
Why the
jewelry
fuck does
made
that
from
watch
all
look so
natural
huge?
materials.
What is that?
Their
Excuse me?
high-quality timepieces come in various designs for both men and
What
women,
kind of like fucking
making them
wrist do
the
you need for
perfect
that?
gift for any occasion. They're a great blend
That
of
that
function and fashion,
that
and
clock is
overall,
fucking
I just think they
huge.
look very classy.
Are you gonna put it
especially
like on
the
your shoulder or
men's
what?
watch
What the fuck is that?
collection. I was pretty impressed with the
Huh?
silver casing and blue marble dial
I'm
of
impressed
the
with
Naturalist watch, which
with how
made
big
for
it
a
is.
great gift
That's
for
what
my
she said.
boyfriend. He
So
especially
what?
loved the casual yet stylish
That's
appearance, making
crazy
it an
that it
ideal
looks actually.
choice to wear
No, it
both
still
at
looks
work
like it
and at
takes the
home.
whole fucking.
I'm also really
wrist.
happy with the watch I picked out.
Is it
It's
me?
made from
Am I going
black and white
crazy?
marble and features
might be
a
going
nice
crazy
black
right now.
leather bracelet that just feels so comfy.
Look
They
at that, it
also
doesn't
create
even take, like,
elegantly
it- like,
crafted
it's just a little
earrings,
bit, like,
very
half.
unique handbags, sunglasses,
I don't
and
know.
necklaces, like this rose marble elevation necklace. It makes a
That's
really
pretty cute.
memorable
That's
and
pretty cute.
unique gift for a loved one. All of their products have a 24-month warranty, and ordering online is
2
super
years,
easy
okay.
with free shipping to the US and most EU countries within 2 to 5 days. So if you want to get yourself
Most
a
EU
good
countries,
quality
so,
watch and support the channel, I highly recommend checking out their store and clicking the link in the description below. Use my special code
The hustlers,
SHOE15 at
come on.
checkout that will give you 15% off for all products store-wide. So go to the link down below and choose your own unique piece of nature. Thank you, Holzkern, for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, as always, for not skipping the ad.
Why are men and boys
Let's
struggling?
see.
And what should we do
Why are we
about it?
struggling?
A few new studies have come out that have shown that young men are more
Well,
lonely and single than
well,
ever
okay.
before. But it's not just men. The women and children,
Everybody.
too. It's predicted
Every fucking body.
45% of women will be single and childless
Even though
by
that's not that too much,
2030.
actually,
But
but
according to the
yeah.
media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is booming, as they say. And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men.
What the fuck is
Are
she
having
looking
a
at me
hard-
like that, bro?
This.
Excuse me?
New study
Woman.
explains why some
Why
single
would you
men
do that to me? What? Look at her face. Excuse me? Girlie, what are you doing right now?
are having a hard time finding a new
You're doing too much. I'm so sorry, but you're doing too much. Calm down.
partner.
Okay?
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right.
Yeah, men, stop listening to
Something that is really interesting over here. In Latin America, like things are like not that like as hard as they are like in other countries. Yeah, in Latin American, like we are not like there's not. It is not as stagnant as in other countries, right? And well, if you listen to the music that we listen to in Spanish, a genre specifically called reggaeton, if you know Spanish, you can tell how dirty, how insanely like just down the sewers it can be. Like it's just like dirt talk. It pretty much is sex. A lot. It can be so much about sex. It can be so much about sex and women and talking about women in a way that it's just sex and that's all. And we are not having the same problem at all. So it's quite funny. It's quite funny to think that. It's quite funny to see it from my perspective, you know? To seeing like, yeah, derogatory, like, ooh, no, buddy, I know what what derogatory means when it comes to songs and music and towards women. Let me tell you, that's not the problem. Definitely not the problem.
that derogatory music. Then maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think men and women being single and lonely kind of shows there might be something wrong with society. Perhaps we should address this, not just wave it
Yeah.
off as empowering or pathetic. According to several
But the thing is that you cannot like say that it is empowering in the same context as like the loneliness, because the thing is that empowerment and things like that are actually teaching women how to feel better and how to feel good with themselves alone. So loneliness is actually like not doing that much when it comes to like women, and that is something really important. And I think that men should learn that as well, because loneliness comes in a lot of ways, right? And so the thing is that it is not that it is empowering that women are single. It is empowering that they're learning how to be without a partner and feeling good with themselves, which is quite different. So that is empowering. That is actually really empowering and really nice, because like women they always have been taught to just value themselves on the relationship that they have with their partner, you know? So it is, I am a good wife because I'm a good woman because I'm a good wife, I should say. So there it is. So like women learning how to be good by being alone, that's not much better. That is actually really empowering. So like, do not compare that. While that, in the other hand, men as well like have been taught the same, but it is mostly about how about the value is different. Women are valuable by themselves. They have intrinsic value, and they bring that to the relationship, and that's why they're good as women. Men have to earn that value, quote unquote, and have to produce and have to protect and have to do all of that, and that's why loneliness is not the same. It's you cannot like you cannot like if you follow that, you cannot like feel accomplished by yourself, and people are not telling the men like now how to be alone as well. So yeah, it is quite different. It's quite different.
Different articles. I love how that's my source. I read about it on the internet. Research
That
shows
can be
that people
valid
from
if you know
individualist
where to look
countries
at.
show a greater sense of loneliness. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs, and urbanization. Japan also has
I believe that is something about like quote unquote like more like developed countries. It is that the system that they get when it comes to, for example, like capitalism, like things that about like the economy, pushes people to stop like being able to socialize that much, and being able to like even have a fucking life, dude. I'm not kidding. Like, it is hard to have a life when you are like in a mindset of the grind set, and well, most developed quote unquote countries is because of that. So it's crazy, and yeah, it's not fun
has
at
an
all.
issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole
Do you know how like
movement of people they
how
call
much
the
community that do the
hikikomori.
hikikomori? The do you know how much community do farmers have? They can have so much community. I've talked to farmers, and they can be like so incredibly like nice and like welcoming to you. And if you actually farm with them, and you actually learn the things that you have to do, they can bring you up a lot, and you can have like an economy between like in the economy just by talking to farmers. It's insane. And that is something really valuable that people just lose as soon as they are like they have to go to those 9 to 5 doing not talking to anybody other than like customers that they really don't care about each other. So yeah.
Did I say that
And
right?
hikikomoris. I cannot count as a
Okay.
hikikomori. A little
Basically,
bit.
postmodern
Not too much.
hermits. Mostly young men who completely withdraw from society, secluding
Yeah.
themselves in their rooms for months and years
I
at a
wonder
time.
how they do it.
In
I wonder
2010,
how
there
they
was
do
an
it.
estimated 700,000 hikikomori
Yeah,
in
that's a lot.
Japan. And today, it's estimated to be about 1.55 million.
Million?
And because of things like this, people aren't having babies, so
Really?
Japan's
Million?
population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the
Well, I mean, like, if
hikikomori
somebody's
learn
really
to cope
that
with eye contact
starved
and reintegrate
about
them
human
back into
contact and, like,
society.
human
So
things,
basically, if you want
maybe
to
that
know
will work.
America's future, look no further than Japan.
And Japan is actually like something quite interesting, right? Well, they have so like the declining birth rate. It seems to be happening to all the countries right now. And to be honest, like, it can be something that can change stuff in different directions. For example, the 4B movement in Korea, like that is actually shaping how things are going to work over there. Um, so you gotta pay attention to that, but like understand why is that happening. And well, I cannot say what is happening exactly in Japan, but I might have an idea. Like, what if, but like the pressure that like, it seems like Japan is like really centric on like goals, and like you have to accomplish things. So like maybe there's a lot of pressure going on. People can just like live to it, and they're just giving up, and that is completely valid. I I pretty much have done the same. I'm a failure, so like you know what I mean? Like you, so that's totally understandable, and like depends a lot on the context is how you actually combat it. The video of the looking at women, shit, maybe hey, if that brings community, that's a huge step. I'm not kidding. Like, the idea is to bring community back in. If that works with the men, why not?
A lot of people, including myself, blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology. RIP
Yeah.
to the king. Although technology makes things easier, it can also make us more atomized. Why go to the mall when I can just tap, buy a new microphone, and have it shipped to me in a day? Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go
But you can actually do that as well on Discord. Like you can find ways to like socialize with people on Discord, and the thing is, it's not the same, right? However, you can learn the basics, and you can like learn how to create a community. And a lot of times, you can actually learn how to talk to even like, for example, like women, how to like I don't know there's a lot of times where you can like learn from another woman how to raise women, right? And that can happen a lot on Discord. And you can like take that knowledge and go outside and just do it somewhere else. So the idea that technology is just like, yeah, the commodities actually make people like so used to things that they don't like do anything else. It's actually quite important. However, it like it's a double-edged sword. Like you have to really learn how to use it. And well, like shit is hard to do it. Like it's hard to learn teach people how to
on
do stuff
dates and
like that.
bother
Yeah.
meeting women when I could just tap, 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 Google big boob and get 2 million results. Or see my high school
Addiction over there with those things is actually quite important. And the thing is that the commodity of having like yeah, porn being shown like so early in like pretty much, and that happened to me as well, to young people, to young like men and women, actually makes it so that the views of like love can be really biased. So it is insane. That is something. Now that technology on that side, it's something really really important, because like whether you like it or not, there are things that can influence how you do depending on what things you watch and what media you consume. So it is not that video games make you violent, but it is that if the only media that you consume is violence, well, you can have more violent tendencies, and like you are more like desensitized as like um it's like the violence being something like that is bad. You can like actually get like too pumped with violence, but it is not one thing. It's like a lot of things. Sadly, when it comes to like porn, it is really specific, right? It is really something really like one thing does, right? So you pretty much only watch it on the internet. You pretty much only watch it on the internet. Like you pretty much only watch it over there, and it's only like media that you consume like via videos, mostly over here, like mostly right now, and that is heavily biased towards like a view of women and men that is just so deplorable. We're not humans on the eyes of like those cameras, and that actually changes a lot of how you think about like intimacy. So that is something. Well, at least when it comes to addiction, like if you don't have an addiction, if you're trying to, well, if you kind of like go in there, like if you're doing it too much, it can happen. Like it's mostly addiction. So like I do, yeah. There's a lot of
crushes
cases.
holes on OnlyFans
It's
for only
actually growing up, I
$5.
think.
Instant dopamine, instant satisfaction, and hey,
Exactly.
who even needs a real woman when you can
Oh
just
my
have
God.
an AI
30?
girlfriend? We're so f***ed. Dating apps really are
Back in the day, we used to call that eroges and visual novels. We didn't need any fucking like AI girlfriends. We got our girlfriends and our waifus. So I think that has been happening a lot.
are the great Satan, and I'm convinced they've completely broken men's brains. Women on dating apps are picky. Women in general are picky, and I mean, naturally we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies, at least for now. But on dating
Yeah, that is an idea that is changing, but yes. The thing is that, well, women have to go through so much with birth, that, yeah, it is like a higher risk. And to be honest, it's better that way. And I think the conversation is changing towards like whose partner I can find, towards even is it worth it to even have a kid, which is actually something interesting that is changing from, well, like at least I think that's what it changed to. So like it's wild. It's just insane.
apps,
Sorry,
you have to
sorry,
admit,
guys.
it's a little insane. It's safe to say that the
Oh yeah, on Tinder it
commodification
is.
of
It is
love
in,
and the window shopping of
and
dating
Bumble,
apps
it's
probably
insane.
has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely
Dating
when it
apps
comes
are
to
a
friendship
hellhole,
too.
I can
According
say.
to Vox, Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men
Damn.
are being hit the hardest. The percentage of men who reported having at least 6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s.
And that's why there's something over here that can be a little bit loaded and that I can talk about a lot. But let me just resume it to this. Because of how things have been changing, how like communication, information, and all things have been changing, the groups of people that you can find are quite different. And now communities, you have to create them and find them, which is quite different from before, right? And the views that a lot of people have right now is like really bubbly and really closed sometimes. So yeah, like close friends can be, because like the thing is that now men have to adapt to the idea of being vulnerable with other men, and it seems like a lot of like the men that don't want to do that end up getting closed minded and closed friended, like they close their circle. So like, and sadly I think that's a lot of people, like maybe even the majority of like men, I don't know how much, but like it's, I think that a lot happens. And it is bad, but like hopefully with the hammering down the idea that men just need to be more like sensitive when it comes to like friendships, it might change. It might change, because normally friendships between like men actually not involve many feelings, which is really bad though. Really really bad. Emotional, like dependence, at least from like a little bit, like emotional reliance I should say. You can rely on people to like be emotional, is something that is so insanely like needed and actually important in a relationship, that it became like thing, and right now it became even more like, you know, prominent to be needed. It has to be really really there, and it has to be like deep. It cannot be like it was before. I feel like maybe that's why as well that happens. Not a lot of people you can trust that you can do that with, right? So
1 in 5 men say they have no close friendships. Looking at all
That's
these
so sad.
statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so difficult. I believe that every man is born without any value at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make yourself important.
And recently, a new study came out about
do you understand how much like his the wording that he's using over here? He's saying being a man is a blessing, because like pretty much he's saying like because you can build yourself up, instead of saying like because you have value upon yourself, because being a man is beautiful. And that is something that is so toxic on it up until that people do not get it. Because no, you are valuable because you are a person, you are a man, and that in and of itself is beautiful. And you should be proud of being a man because you are a man, not because you have something to bring into the table, but because you're alive, and that matters. And your life matters a lot like that. So yeah.
how young men are moving towards the right. And every other month,
All right,
we,
go,
the
that's so
liberal,
much.
sockdom, leftist, whatever you want to call the space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we
That
have
is
a
devaluing
leftist
a lot of
Andrew
the
Tate? We need to push men
of the
to the
talk that is
left.
going on.
Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics. Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate. A few months ago, during
This is something that is quite loaded, and like when it comes to like politics, that I don't know if I have the fucking strength to do right now. And I don't know if I want to do it, because like that will be diving up into a lot of like the beliefs that, you know, conservatives and like leftists are having, and so like that will bring a lot of policies to the table. So like I'm just gonna say it's loaded, and it's not that simple, and it's not like that much. Okay, girly. Okay.
in one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues.
Progressive,
and the
okay,
even
now that's
bigger
the
mistake
progressive,
of pointing their
can be
finger
in
at
all
their
the
own
ways.
spaces for not doing enough to address said men's issues.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating
like
that
progressing
men are
forward
the
should be always the goal. If it is progressing socially and you have to do changes, well, that's how you have to do it. If it's progressing economically and you have to do changes to the economy, well, you have to do it. But changing is necessary, no matter what type of like politics you believe in. That's what I think.
loneliest generation. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that
Not
is leading
focused.
to this
You
epidemic,
should
what the
actually
left can do to offer solutions.
not focused. It is not focused on something, because the thing is that is a problem in and of itself. Focusing on one problem at a time seems to be doing not too good. We can focus on multiple that actually are similar, and you can actually like knock all of them together. That works. But the thing is that if you focus too much in one of the things and you just take one perspective, you're ignoring like a lot of problems that like, and a lot of the factors that other problems actually influence on that same problem, because there's gonna be a lot of them. There's gonna be a lot of them.
And how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, you know, men are struggling with,
Fill in
people
the
like
void
Jordan
with, like,
Peterson and what have you.
with the
Now,
toxicity
recently,
is actually quite bad. That
Vosh,
is
who's
true.
a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't."
The responses to these tweets and this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful.
Yeah, that's
Me
not
when I
Twitter.
lie.
That's not Twitter. Twitter is a hellhole.
LMAO, cry about it. Boo f***ing who? Oh no, poor widow men having problems. Boo f***ing who? Grow the f*** up then. Have men considered being smarter? I'm enjoying all these sad little boys and their sad little tweets about their sad, pathetic lives. Sounds like a personal problem.
Of, like,
is the
things
lack of
and people,
compassion
like,
for men in the room with us right now? Maybe men are just not good people.
Like
then.
I said, like,
I'm
do
so
not focus on all
fucking
the
tired of people trying to make
But
male.
the thing is that these statements are loaded with other kinds of problems, and they're talking about like different problems that society has that actually connect to this one. Because this ones are talking about like the oppression and like the how women feel about it, right? So, well, guess what, bitch? That affects the male loneliness. So do not like as well turn a blind eye to this. Listen and tell, and make them listen and tell. So, yeah.
Loneliness, a huge societal problem. Yeah, no, their fifis are not my responsibility, and I shouldn't have to be punished because they can't get their shit together as human beings. Grow the f up. Why are we trying to win these entitled little predators over? The left isn't for them. That's why they go right in the first place. We're all lonely and alienated. It's young men going to the alt-right in droves. The problem isn't our messaging, it's them. It's literally not our problem. Men flock to Andrew Tate not because they're lonely, but because they're bigots. Hope this helps. Nah, it's just misogynists being louder than before and not getting laid. LOL. Cry harder, losers.
That's what happens when like you don't allow them to like have a safe space and just like have a nice talk. That is when if you turn like a blind eye to that, they will just like progressively go even worse with their views and be even more misogynistic and worse as a human. Incels, like pretty much, they're left alone a lot. Like they're just like literally just left under their own things, and they just like ridicule on the internet. But mostly they're just left there, and they're just like left with their own ideals. And that's why they just like go so badly. Nobody actually like cares about them pretty much. And this is not about to be like, oh no, poor incels. It's like, no, like listen to them, and you can actually help them. Well, some of them, no, not all of them. No, some of like y'all, like some of y'all are like way too down in the trenches. Where we just can just say like, I'm so sorry about that. We just have to agree to disagree. Like I'm gonna teach all the people that actually care about this shit how to progress and how to be better. If you want to stay back in the train, well, be my guest. Be my guest by all means. So yeah.
90% of all homicides recorded worldwide were committed by male perpetrators. We should just get rid of all males, to be honest. This includes trans women, as they still retain male violence.
Oh,
by the way, you know the Tumblr feminists who were like, all men are sexist and rapists, male tears, penises are evil, blah 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 back in the day? Well, this is them now. Should've just let me cook back then. Listen up, chuckle. I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist. Because I recognize most of the sort that look like me
which is not
are
the
the
solution at all.
problem. I may be hideously ugly and pathetic, but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy.
But that is
You're,
actually that is
really
actually
helping
true.
the situation. The reason young
But
men
that's actually
flock to
true. This is not a
alt-right
fascist.
MRA movements is
But the
because the
thing is that
left
he's
gives
using
brain-dead
victimism,
advice
which
to
is
young
different.
men.
You don't
We
get
need to be more
yourself anything
compassionate
by
to
doing
them,
that.
for our own sake. I'm sorry, but how is respect women brain-dead advice?
The thing is that that is like the. It is not. It is not. But it is just if you only say that, they're not gonna understand. Girlie, you have to say more. You cannot just like tell them that and that's it. Like I said, this is a problem that is linked to other things. Come on, girlie, you gotta understand that, please, please.
What
Holy
advice?
shit.
Don't rape? Don't be a rapist is bad
Oh.
advice? Help, I have no friends or community, I feel suicidal. Have you considered not raping? Act like a decent fucking human being, it's not hard, is brain dead advice? Brain dead advice like, get consent and don't be a Nazi and women are people. Walking up to men
Women are people,
struggling
it's
with
actually the
loneliness and
solution.
depression like,
Kids,
Because
don't be racist.
if you start seeing
Incredible.
like women as
here's
human
my
being,
actual advice I would give to
you're
my
gonna
teen
have
boys
a lot
as a
of
leftist.
changes
1.
going on,
Always get
and you're gonna be able to
enthusiastic
like do
consent.
so much more
2.
connection to people.
Save the planet.
Straight up, I'm not
3.
kidding. I'm
Don't
not
say
even
that.
kidding.
It's actually kind of racist. Like, what the f is this? How does this address men and their issues? It doesn't. Why does their advice always seem to be, become a liberal? Hey men, here's how to fix all your problems. Agree with me politically. Men flock
I
to the
don't
MRA
think that
movement
is, like,
because
the
they're the
case at
largest
all.
beneficiaries
It's
of
just about being
MRA
progressive
shit.
and
Imagine
changing the
saying
ways of thinking
women
because that
flock
is
to
necessary.
women's rights activism
That is
because they're the
literally
biggest
necessary for
beneficiaries of
loneliness to
women's
change.
rights. Like,
In both
no
women and
f***ing
men.
shit. Let's be honest. Aside from procreation purposes, men have become obsolete.
Oh
Most
my
women
God,
can find
no.
other methods of achieving orgasm without a man there. And speaking as
Bitch
a
that
man,
doesn't know about what
most
is
of us are
emotional
hard to
intimacy.
be around, and I don't blame any woman for just saying, no thanks. Oh my
You don't know you don't know what a human being is, bro. And you don't know what emotional intimacy is, dog. Girlie, if you know how to like really connect with your partner, you will know that sex is not the same. It's not the same. So yeah, men are not obsolete. Nobody's obsolete. Nobody's a waste.
god, dude, this is what every Just Pearly Things tweet looks like to me. Just with the genders swapped. This
I'm
is
so sorry, but
pathetic.
like I had to
You
do
know
like
what Fix
something
This
like,
Mel
oh my
Things
god,
tweet looks like?
oh my god, this like this thing going on with her. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Whew. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Whew, I got distracted over here for a second. Sheesh.
To me. As a man, I'll say this. Sit down, shut up, and beat one out. You'll feel
No,
better. I
no,
promise. Yeah, guys,
no.
just beat one out. Just off. Just watch porn. Batman will be very disappointed in all of you. It's so funny how men feel entitled to a girlfriend. No, you sexist freak. When one side is like, wanting a girlfriend is sexist entitlement, and the other side is like, here's how to get a girlfriend. I don't know, bro. What happened to males just kicking the bucket?
And you just that as well. It is like telling them like, hey, this is how you get a girlfriend in the way that you think it should be, because like misogyny is the answer. Pretty much, that's what they're saying to you, and men just go fucking that way because like they think that as well is the case. So you just have to teach them like, hey, that is not the case at all. That is not the case at all. And some of them become entitled later because of the ways of like they think, and because of the how quote unquote value works. So yeah, it is not solving the problem at all. It is not solving the problem at all. Why is it like and like exactly like the thing is that because it's like appealing to them, that as well is a problem in and of itself. You understand that, right? So yeah, it's not as simple as you make it sound.
Now they just come on here and try to make their loneliness and misery into some social justice issue. Oh, trust me, men are still kicking the bucket. And when they're not giving mind-blowing advice like
Damn.
just to be a liberal, they're outright dismissing
It's
men's
not-
issues completely.
it's not what
It's
they're
not
saying.
our job to educate them. Since men created the problem, they need to take
That
steps
as well
to
is
fix
something
it.
that
we have
is
other
really
things
not
to care
a
about.
really
Men can
good
figure out their
idea.
own problems that they created. Again,
Like I said,
it's
it's about
not women's
community.
jobs
It's
to
about
change how men
community,
are
so
socialized.
shut up.
It's a
Shut up.
man
Just shut
issue,
up
and
with
y'all
this.
need to address that amongst yourselves. Men
Girlie,
created their own
please
problems.
teach some
Men
women
can
some
solve their
some
own
men some
problems. The
sensitivity,
left is
please.
busy. Why does the well-being of other people concern me? leftist, by the way. It's all systemic issues and societal factors and blah 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 until it's a man and then suddenly it's pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. This problem is just a consequence of the patriarchy. Now take a wild guess about which gender created the patriarchy.
They did.
Solve your own problems and leave women alone.
But that's not how you
These
solve
people
them.
rightly mock the bootstraps rhetoric until the subject is a man, and then it's bootstraps all the way down. They would never talk about any other group this way.
They did create it. But that's not how you solve it, girly. All of us have to solve it together. We're all in this together. Yeah, we have to do like High School Musical, and every single person has to be jumping on a table and have to be singing. At least if in a restaurant, there's no like one table who is like jumping into their seats and singing and starting singing. We are doomed as a society. I'm just sorry to tell you guys this, but like we have to do
telling men to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but one is like, I'll show you how, and the other is like, fuck off.
One is telling you, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear about it. I want to like go to your things and how you think it should be, pulling about yourselves up the bootstraps, because the thing is, it is not about like pulling yourself on the bootstraps like yourself, because the thing at the end of the day, no matter how you're talking to, no matter how many people you have in your community, no matter how many people you have in your life, the only person that is going to move forward and take the steps is you. So it is about pulling yourself, but with support and care. And for people to care about you, that matters so much, so that you're able to actually do it. So the thing is that one of them is telling you, this is how you do it, how you want to do it, this is how you think it should be. So yeah, do it like that. So that's as well why it's appealing. It's like
and when they're
not showing you how,
they're
telling you how you would like it to be.
Straight up fuck off. They're giving the 200 IQ
and the other one just shaming you, so it is bad. The other one can shame a lot, but the other one as well can do a lot of like service on how it is to like be more connected to your emotions, which is really important. So yeah, like I said, it is about like pulling yourself at the end, yes. However, community and being able to be supported with it, it's as important. Like it's impossible to do it without support.
Answer that nobody has ever heard before. Just show your emotions, bro. And I'm not
it is necessary.
dismissing this problem, okay? I've made videos talking about this. Oh, you're crying at your grandfather's funeral? Okay, faggot. And studies have shown that men are scared to be vulnerable, even around the homies. And can you blame them when the media says stupid like this? Fellas, is it woke to open up to your fellow men and discuss history? Men are socialized to believe strength, dominance, and stoicism are behaviors of a real man. Is it any surprise that men are lonely and have less friends nowadays? You have to be vulnerable to make friends. Don't tell me there aren't systemic problems affecting men. Now, while a lot of this may be true, men have been socialized this way for centuries, and this is all relatively a new phenomena. Toxic masculinity has existed forever. If anything, there's less toxic masculinity nowadays. The cultural embrace of like gender nonconformity, femboys, Harry Styles in a dress, Barbie movie, blah 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 blah. My point is, toxic masculinity did not just appear in the mid-2010s, but social media did, and the internet did, and the rise of dating apps did, and the housing crisis, and living in a country where the wealth inequality is worse than it was during the Gilded Age. That all happened recently. Oh my god, the privileged life these poor little boys must have, that their biggest problem is being lonely, i.e. so insufferable that nobody wants to sleep with them. So much more pressing than the poor distribution of wealth causing people to suffer food and housing insecurity. Boo-hoo!
If you don't have a community that helps you like understand why is that bad, and it doesn't like if you don't have a community that helps you with learning on how to change that, you're not able to do it. So like loneliness is something really important that like I said, you cannot do things alone. So loneliness is really important, and that is a part of that problem. No joke, it is. So
you're
Better
lonely and
listen to
have
men
no
being alone.
friends and
Better
are
listen to men
suicidal.
being alone. Women
Because
being alone.
feeling alienated under capitalism apparently isn't a thing. People are working harder and longer while wages have been stagnant. Men have been dropping out of college like flies. And what does that get you? Poor men. Which, since women are doing amazing in college now, and many are now out-earning men, this most of the time leads to single men, which then leads to lonely men, which leads to
That's one of the things as well, and that if that statement, like if you just put it up on the one by one, do you understand that being women out earning men it should not be the cause of single men? Do you understand that? If you're able to understand that, you will understand why that doesn't, like that should not be the cause, and why again change is necessary.
To depressed men, which leads to the high suicide rate. In my opinion, leftism at a policy level does a great job addressing the shitty material conditions that in part lead to the problems that men are facing, but then absolutely drops the ball when it comes to everything and anything related to men's cultural issues. Many such cases. And why would a struggling man even want to move left when the left appears actively hostile to them?
The question of whether or not the hashtag online left is enough to appeal to hashtag men has become the question du jour. And like men have most of the money, authority, and do most of the murdering and assaulting.
The average young man in America isn't Jeff Bezos. Also, why did this motherfucker just FBI crime statistics at me? Men do the most murder. Okay?
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve. They like that. They want it to stay that way because it suits them. Because of the stuff, telling people they're special and deserve all the nice shit that they have, that's going to be an easier sell 10 times out of 10 than like saying, hey, maybe you should have less stuff and other people should have more.
Leftism is when you don't have a lot of stuff. We're gonna take your...
Like I said, it's part of the change, and that's part of the things that like is needed. You have to make them understand about like a lot of the subjects, so that they're able to like you have to ease their ways to it, and that is actually something important to let them know. It is just that you're jumping a lot of steps, and it's just like
stuff. You sound like a 65-year-old Fox News boomer's idea of what the left is. Are you a CIA agent? The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You
No, that's not what they're saying. But okay.
will have free speech. You will own things, and you will be happy. And the left is like...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But don't get me wrong, Republicans
That is such
will
a
not
like
do
divisive way of
shit.
saying
The Republican
shit, bro.
Party will not do shit. The
You're
establishment
saying how like
in
people
general
should have
will not
community,
do
but you're saying that
to help any of this. But the right is at
I'm
least
so sorry,
rhetorically
not be saying
offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department. Every time this Discord comes up, there's people like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men. Because a large part...
No, it should not be the case, and it's not the case if you learn how to actually talk to them properly. If you have a man that is, well, I don't know, like exactly if that is the case, because like to be honest, I'm not really connected with masculinity. Like, I don't know, but I do believe that if you have like a really like a potent like masculine like, because remember that masculinity has nothing to do with fucking politics at all, right? Like
progressivism is oppressive hierarchies, and men are oppressors, making progressivism look...
The thing is that it's important for you to know that you are an oppressor, for you to be able to change and to understand what are the things that you need to change for things to be better. It is not putting you on blame or like telling you that you are the problem. It is not doing that. It is telling you, hey, these things are meant for like, these things are like oppressing to other people because of this, and that. You can help them by doing this, and that. You know? It is important to recognize why things are privileged. Why things are like, why are you more privileged than other people? It is important. But it's not about like blaming people. It's about telling them, hey, this is the case. This is how you do to help other people. It's really simple. Hey, put a community up, you know?
appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh at insane people on Twitter, as always, there have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues. If you would have told me this would be a thing 9 years ago, I would not believe you, because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links to some below. I don't agree with all the points they say, but I recommend watching. It's much better than...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But the issue is a lot of this lefty pro-men content, it's always framed around how do we get them? As if men are just pawns and tools for your personal politics. How do we make the left more appealing to men? How do we stop lonely men from moving to Andrew Tate? Instead of just,
which is
how do
actually
we
really
help
important.
men?
Because the thing is, if you stop them from going there, girly, you're stopping from getting into a really toxic relationship to them. And the thing is that by teaching them how to, like, you know, not being like leaning in towards that, you're gonna teach them how to be like leaning towards something else, which is really important. And by proxy, it's gonna help them a lot with loneliness. So it is not a bad take, to be honest, to try to do that.
And I think that's a really big issue.
By the way, like the like if you want to like listen to somebody like that is actually quite he is really good when it comes to like stuff, and I believe like he's like mostly left leaning. I don't know, to be honest. Look at FD Signifier. My dude is truly listen to him, and you will understand a lot of the things that I'm saying. So like if you want to just like see something that is quite impressive, like a more like in a documentary way, because shit is his videos are like long. If I'm yapping for like 45 minutes already, like 40 minutes, he has like movies length. So just telling you that, be careful.
Both sides seem to treat men as political fodder, disposable soldiers in the culture war and real war. Anyway, misandry is real. Oh good, finally! And while it doesn't systemically affect cis men, it most certainly affects trans men. Oh, y'all talking about misandry doesn't harm men, and trans men are right.
Like you're saying that, like remember what the reporter said, like, you know, you should not turn a blind eye to those things, like to other problems. So that is also a problem that can happen. So why are you not listening?
They're reading this shit, by the way. I see, now we only care about misandry because it affects trans men. Everyone stop! It's affecting a group I care about now. I love how—
Why is that so bad? Talk to them, and if that is the gateway to like let them understand how that affects like all people, do it. Like it doesn't have to be the end all be all, girly. Like you can use that as a way to let them like ease their way into another thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
The rhetoric just like evolved overnight from male tears to cis male tears, and I just have to ask, why aren't you including trans men in your misandry,
Nobody told me how
quite different.
Lonely being a man is. We knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us and to have people want to talk to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are so much harder to build. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
Welcome to being a man. Here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. I love how even when he's experiencing the issues of being a man, he's like, this doesn't invalidate people hating men. Come on, bro. Men struggling don't want to be left.
Come on, what? That is necessary to be said. Please.
Lectured about the patriarchy. They don't want to be told it's all their fault. They don't want to be told they're part of
They have to be told about the patriarchy, like, yes or yes. For changes, for things to be better, for like things to know, you have to learn. You cannot be an ignorant when it comes to like power systems that you are directly influenced by. So, sorry, but you have to learn about the patriarchy, baby. Whether you like it or not. Welcome.
Problem, because first of all, they're not. The average 20-year-old
they're in the power system, whether they like it or not, just by being men. Sadly. How much it affects them, it's quite different, depending on a lot of things. But they had to learning to know what the actual effect is having on them. So they have to learn. They're not the problem. No, you don't have to tell them like you are the problem. So they're like, hey, you're part of a system that is doing the oppression. This is how you can help. Is that so hard to grasp?
Society.
I don't think so.
They go to work,
I truly
come
do
home,
not think so.
go off to sissy hypno fetish porn, and go to bed like everyone else. I've talked about this before,
What?
but
Excuse
a lot
me?
of
What the
men's
fuck?
value comes from the money they make, unfortunately. Men are
Yeah,
natural
that's
providers, and if
before.
they have nobody to provide for, they get into findom or send random girls on the
Fandom. Is there? I wonder. Like, is there actually like women who are into fandom? Will anybody? No. It's okay, girls. Do not ask me to do any fandom for me, with me, or like anything like that. No. Please don't. But it's just interesting to think, you know.
internet money. I'm just kidding, but the fact is, a lot of men simply feel like they don't have a purpose anymore. Whether a job or a career that's fulfilling and pays well, or a woman or family to protect and take care of and provide for. Men are
those things
lacking
are changing.
purpose, and a man will crawl
And
through
purpose
a
is
broken
like,
glass.
and like that purpose was so like bleak, and like so void of like true purpose within finding things that you like yourself, because that can bring purpose, yes, but you have to like understand why is that bringing you purpose, you know. If it's only protecting them, like what are you protecting them from? Like at some point, like things just become like so like voidless if you don't actually start to value feelings and things that you do. So yeah, it's just like not the value should not be as well. Remember, the value should not be the things that you do, because that is still saying like, you know, the value of men is the things that they do and the things that they have. Well, no, that's not the case. Value should come within yourself. So yeah.
Class for a purpose. But you know what does make them feel like they have a purpose? No, not him.
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you.
The absolute audacity to act shocked that Andrew Tate is scooping these guys up after a decade of lol male tears is insane. Andrew Tate isn't the solution to men's problems. But he is talking to them. The fact is, you did not care about them for years. And even now you just want to recruit them, not help them. And that's why you will fail. And hey, maybe
nope, you're not gonna fail. And that's... Keep trying to quote-unquote recruit them. You're not recruiting them.
Men, listen up.
It's quite
Wash your penis.
It's just like, the thing is, if you're not doing it correctly, yes. But quote-unquote recruiting them, you're not doing that as well. You just don't know how what you're doing. But it's okay. You are just like showing us one side that is really like biased. And I don't think that's the case anymore. Just, hey, that's my opinion.
Penis. So I guess I'll leave
also, yes, please, man, please wash your penis and also your ass. Boy, if I catch you with a skid mark, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm not gonna beat your ass. I don't beat anybody's asses. I'm actually quite frail, pretty much. Anybody can beat my ass at this point. But like, I will just make you understand why that is so bad. You know, like, please, girly, just like wash your ass, please. I'm begging you, please. It's not feminine, and even if it's feminine, what is the problem with that? Do you understand what you're saying? What is the problem with women? You see what you gotta understand. If that is a problem, then you see what you gotta understand. Why patriarchy is important for you to know. Do you understand why is that important now, bitch? Do I have to explain why washing your ass is important for you to change your views? Do I really?
you guys with a question. Why do you think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem? And are you dealing with loneliness? And I will see
most certainly.
you
But
guys
quite
next
different.
time with a new
And a different type of loneliness. Not the one that you're talking to. Talking about loneliness, well, what if you do not make the subscribe button feel lonely? And take it, like, you know, do you see the cursor that you have? Like, do you see like do you see this? Like, do you see that? Oh my god, look at this! Look at this beautiful thing, huh? Do you see that? Don't make like this is like your hand. So hey, use it so that the subscribe button doesn't feel so lonely. And click on it with this. This is like you holding their hand. Would you like to do that? Yes, you would. Okay, thank you. Yee! Look at it. Now it's happy as well because it's not lonely as well. You know. There you go. And do that as well with the like button if you can. Like, just grab the like button and put the thumb up his actual ass and try to clean it with it so that they understand how gross it is to have a dirty ass. Maybe that I'll have to do some of you guys to understand how disgusting it is. Maybe that way you will understand. Or some of you might enjoy that. Well, either way, we will get a solution. Or we will get a reaction. For the moment, everybody, this has been me. This has been Freacklo. I've yapped too much. I'm gonna have to do fucking commentary like at some point. I'm pretty much doing that myself. It's just that I'm doing it in a different way. So thank you all so much for being here. This is the last part. If you made it into this point of the video, if you heard me yap so much, come into my Discord. Come and like put on the comments and say bladder. And if you say bladder, I'm gonna personally go to you and give you a kiss. Whatever you want it to be. On the forehead, on the cheek, any lips, it's fine. But thank you so much for being here. And I love you. As always, gamers, have yourself a really goddamn a good one. Wait, a goddamn a good one. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye. Bye 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 bye.